Why INTJs are frequently mistyped. Qualities like being analytical, strategic, independent, and future-focused have given INTJs an almost iconic status, leading many to believe they belong to this exclusive type. However, INTJs are one of the most commonly mistyped personalities, often due to cognitive biases, misunderstanding of cognitive functions, and idealized perceptions of INTJ traits. In this video, we will explore 7 reasons why people frequently mistype as INTJ and look at examples and comparisons with other types to clarify each misunderstanding. Number 1. Misunderstanding introversion and extraversion. One major cause of mistyping is a general misunderstanding of what MBTI introversion and extraversion mean. People often equate introversion with shyness or a simple preference for solitude, rather than understanding it as a preference for focusing on internal thoughts rather than external stimuli. INTJs lead with introverted intuition, NI, meaning they focus deeply on abstract concepts, insights, and long-term visions. For instance, an INFJ also leads with NI, but is more people-focused due to their secondary function. Extroverted feeling, FE. This difference makes INFJs more naturally attuned to others' emotions, whereas INTJs have extroverted thinking, TE, as their secondary function, making them more focused on structure and external goals. A reflective, imaginative person who is actually focused on helping others might identify as INTJ, believing their inward focus on ideas fits with NI, when in reality, they are better suited to the INFJ type due to their attention to people's emotions. Take, for example, a scientist who works independently on complex research and enjoys quiet intellectual work. If they feel energized by their theoretical work, they may assume they are INTJs. However, if they are truly more focused on understanding specific details, reliving past research, or verifying information, they could be an ISTJ or ISFJ. ISTJs lead with introverted sensing, SI, which focuses on concrete, detail-oriented processes, making them excellent in methodical, data-driven environments, while INTJs prioritize future-oriented, big-picture insights driven by NI. Imagine a management consultant who enjoys intellectual conversations and prefers small gatherings over large parties, might identify as an introvert because they need time alone after work. However, they may actually be an ENTJ who recharges by interacting with ideas and leading groups. Such a person could test as an INTJ if they emphasize their need for alone time, even though their primary orientation is toward organizing external systems, TE, rather than exploring intuitive possibilities, NI. Number 2. Confusion between INTJ and INTP. INTJs and INTPs share common traits. Both are introspective, analytical, and often intellectually inclined. However, INTJs lead with NI and prioritize vision and structure, while INTPs lead with introverted thinking, TI, and extroverted intuition, NE. This makes INTPs more open-ended in their approach, enjoying exploration and questioning without a strong need for definitive conclusions. Imagine a person who loves analyzing and debating abstract theories without needing to create a clear, actionable plan. They might believe they are INTJ due to their love for analysis, but this tendency to explore ideas without an end goal is characteristic of INTPs, whose TI-NE pairing leads them to stay open to multiple possibilities. In contrast, INTJs' NITE combination drives them toward a clear, structured vision, seeking practical steps to realize it. Consider a software developer who enjoys problem-solving and working independently. This person might identify as an INTJ due to their intellectual pursuits and analytical approach. However, if they prefer solving open-ended problems, trying out multiple solutions, and exploring new ways to approach coding projects without a pressing need to streamline or finish quickly. They might actually be an INTP. INTPs enjoy brainstorming, experimenting, and hypothesizing, driven by extroverted intuition, NE's curiosity and openness to possibilities, whereas INTJs' NITE combination directs them toward a clear and structured goal. Number 3. The appeal of INTJ traits and self-assessment bias. INTJs are known for their independence, strategic thinking, and intellectual approach. These traits are admired, leading many people to identify with INTJ qualities, whether they naturally exhibit them or not. This phenomenon, known as self-assessment bias, often leads people to unknowingly choose answers that align with their ideal self-image rather than their actual personality. Consider a person who identifies as self-sufficient and logical. When they encounter questions about how they handle conflict or solve problems, they might pick responses that align with being objective or strategic, believing this sounds INTJ-like. This person could be an ISFP or ISFJ, whose practical approach and independence could still make them appear strategic and thoughtful. However, ISFPs lead with introverted feeling, FI, and are deeply guided by personal values, while ISFJs lead with introverted sensing, SI, which focuses on maintaining consistency and practical support. They might believe that their independence makes them INTJs, but these differences in cognitive functions set them apart. Imagine a corporate executive who prides themselves on being rational and strategic. In an MBTI test, they might choose responses that align with these traits, thinking this would indicate an INTJ personality. However, if their strategy relies more on maintaining established routines and supporting their team, traits more associated with ESTJs or ESFJs, they may not actually be an INTJ. ESTJs, who lead with extroverted thinking, TE, are highly organized and efficient, but are more likely to base their strategies on external structures and practical solutions, while INTJs approach problems through NI, prioritizing insight and long-term vision over immediate efficiency. Number 4. The influence of popularity, exclusivity, and social media. The INTJ personality type is often highlighted as rare, which increases its appeal. People are naturally drawn to being unique, and the association of INTJs with intelligence and competence only enhances their allure. Social media, TV shows, and books frequently feature INTJ-type characters who embody these traits, which leads many to adopt INTJ qualities when identifying their own type. For instance, someone might interpret their interest in reading or preference for small gatherings as an indication of NI, even if they are actually more aligned with SI, introverted sensing, or even NE, extroverted intuition. This individual could be an ISTJ or INTP, both of whom value ideas and structure but engage with the world differently. ISTJs prefer routine and practicality, leading with SI, and often enjoying systematic approaches. INTPs, on the other hand, have a more open-ended approach to possibilities due to their NE function, unlike the visionary but structured focus of an INTJ's NI and TE. Imagine a writer who spends a lot of time in solitude, reflecting on complex ideas and engaging in deep intellectual work, might believe they are an INTJ. However, if their writing focuses on capturing the richness of personal experiences and observing familiar patterns, traits associated with ISFJs or INFJs, they are likely using SI or FE rather than NI. INFJs, for example, are vision-oriented like INTJs, but lead with FE, making them naturally people-focused and empathetic in their writing style, often reflecting a deep understanding of others, rather than the detached, objective analysis typical of an INTJ. Number 5. Mimicking INTJ traits through media and role models. The media often depicts INTJs as mastermind characters who are strategic, reserved, and fiercely independent. Characters like this attract admiration, leading some people to mimic these traits, consciously or subconsciously, in test responses or in their behavior. They may then self-type as INTJ based on this idealized persona rather than their true nature. For example, consider someone who admires a character known for being calm, calculated, and slightly detached. They may begin to see these traits as desirable and choose responses that reflect this in MBTI tests. However, this person may actually be an ENFP, known for their enthusiasm and adaptability due to their NE and FI combination. ENFPs are generally more people-oriented and open-minded, but they may have chosen INTJ-like answers because they see the cool, composed traits of INTJs as admirable. Take a business consultant who admires characters in movies and literature that embody INTJ qualities, such as high levels of self-discipline and an unwavering commitment to their plans. If they choose responses that align with these traits, they may identify as an INTJ even though their real tendencies are different. If this person enjoys connecting with others, building relationships, and adapting their advice to suit different clients, they may actually be an ENFJ or ENTJ. ENTJs are also strategic and forward-thinking, but they rely on their extroverted energy to lead and manage teams, while ENFJs are people-focused and value emotional connections. Number 6. Misinterpretation of test questions and cognitive functions. The language of MBTI test questions is often general, making it easy to misunderstand questions aimed at detecting specific cognitive functions. True INTJs lead with NI and TE, which make them driven towards structured, long-term goals. However, questions that capture NI traits, such as, "Do you envision future possibilities?" can lead people to think of any introspective or forward-thinking trait as NI, even though it may stem from different functions. For instance, someone who enjoys reminiscing about past experiences and imagines a stable future may answer positively to questions about envisioning possibilities. But if this future thinking is rooted in memories and concrete details, they might actually be an ISFJ or ISTJ, both of whom lead with SI. Unlike INTJs, SI-dominant types rely on concrete experiences to create consistent, realistic expectations, while INTJs' NITE combination leads them toward abstract, goal-oriented visions. Consider a financial planner who answers questions about thinking ahead positively. They might think this aligns with INTJs' NI, when in reality, they might be an ISFJ or ESTJ focused on realistic, detail-driven planning. ISFJs lead with SI, which helps them draw on past experience to create stability in the future, while ESTJs, who lead with TE, prioritize efficient planning and execution without necessarily having a vision-driven approach. Both types engage in future planning, but not with NI's abstract, insightful direction typical of an INTJ. Number 7. Confirmation bias reinforced by online communities. Once someone self-identifies as an INTJ, they often join INTJ communities or consume INTJ-related content, leading to confirmation bias. These communities amplify INTJ traits and portray them in idealized ways, reinforcing the idea that a person embodies the INTJ type, even if their behaviors and thought processes don't align with INTJ cognitive functions. For example, an individual might join an INTJ forum that emphasizes traits like independence and intellectualism. They start interpreting their natural curiosity or need for alone time as evidence of being an INTJ, even if their preferences align more closely with INFP or ISTP. INFPs, for instance, are introspective and independent, but lead with FI, making them deeply guided by their personal values rather than by TE's logic and structured approach. Similarly, ISTPs are practical and logical, but lead with introverted thinking, TI, making them adaptable and hands-on, rather than vision-driven like INTJs. The reinforcement from INTJ communities can create a feedback loop, causing them to overlook these key differences. Imagine an engineer who joins an INTJ forum where members regularly discuss independence, logic, and efficiency. They might start interpreting their preference for structured work or independent projects as confirmation of being INTJ, even if they actually align more with the characteristics of an ISTP or ENTP. ISTPs are highly independent and logical, but they lead with TI, making them adaptable and hands-on in problem-solving, rather than vision-driven like INTJs. ENTPs, on the other hand, are imaginative and strategic, using NE to explore possibilities and quickly adapt, which can be mistaken for NI if the individual is unaware of the cognitive distinctions. To truly understand if one is an INTJ, it's important to go beyond desirable traits like intelligence and independence and understand how NI and TE uniquely shape INTJ's worldview. INTJs lead with NI's vision-oriented focus, using TE's structured planning to realize long-term goals. Ultimately, INTJs have a unique blend of forward-thinking intuition and task-oriented decisiveness that's not solely defined by intelligence or independence, but by a specific way of approaching the world through insights and strategic action. INTJ mistyping often boils down to misunderstanding the functions, particularly NI and TE, and the allure of the INTJ's unique blend of strategic insight and decisive planning, which appeals to people across many personality types. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay connected with more content about personality types, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.